almost goes without saying that once you take to the open water, one of the most useful maneuvers to master will be the change of direction. Once you head off, you're going to have to turn around at some point, so a great deal of time will be saved by not falling in the water and having to force yourself around. There's a much better way of doing it, and in this section we'll teach you the most common method to change your direction with style and without getting wet. The sliding turn. The slide turn is the easiest turn to master and is best performed with a twin tip board. It's also the turn people use the most, however good they get at kiting. Essentially, to perform this turn, the rider slows to a stop before riding off in the new direction, but doing so using the lift and power of the kite to stop yourself falling backwards. Achieving this will require the coordination of your kite and board, but once it's been mastered, you'll be rewarded by being able to stay upwind with much greater ease. Safety warning: you must always look behind you before you try to change direction. Doing so will ensure that no one is too close and avoid the possibility of collision. Look downwind to ensure you do not run into somebody else. Check that anyone upwind of you is far enough away that you can bring your kite up to 12 without it interfering with their kite. Once you've got the sliding turn under control, then your next steps will be carving turns, but this will leave for the Progression Kiteboarding Intermediate Volume 1 DVD. So let's start with a full run through of the sliding turn. Bring your kite up slowly to 12, pushing on your back heel to slow the board and direct it upwind. As the kite reaches 12, extend your back leg to force the back of the board around so it's facing directly downwind. As you stop, look back in the opposite direction. Turn your shoulders to face this new direction. Simultaneously, pull with your new front hand to pilot the kite down into the power zone in the new direction. Keep your weight back against the kite over your new back foot. As the kite pulls, transfer weight onto your heels to drive the board forward in the new direction with your back leg bent and your front leg straight. As your speed increases, carve the board back upwind. Now we're going to focus on the key elements of the sliding turn. Let's start by looking at the motion of the kite during the turn. There are two distinct movements of the kite: during the entry to the turn and during the exit. We already know that the kite needs to be brought slowly to 12 o'clock as you begin to slow down. And the most significant factor at this point is remembering to pilot the kite to this position as you stretch out your back leg. As soon as you anticipate that your board is about to stop, drop the kite swiftly into the power zone in the new direction. The speed at which you bring the kite to 12 and then dive it in the new direction will depend on how powered up you are and how fast a turn you want to achieve. The key to mastering the sliding turn is to focus on the balance between your feet. Your weight will shift between your feet during the manoeuvre, and you must understand that the changes in the kite's behaviour is telling you when to shift your weight appropriately. Let's focus on the various points when your weight shifts from your front and back foot, and you'll see how this relates to the kite. When you are ready to initiate the turn, start to carve the board upwind by leaning back with more weight over your back heel, with your legs bent. As you slow down, you push out hard with your back leg to kill your forward motion and bring the kite to 12 o'clock. Your weight now transfers to your new back foot, with your new front foot straightened to force the board downwind. Weight on new back foot. Straighten new front leg. The final stage comes as the kite pulls you in the new direction. Your back leg stays bent, with your weight primarily over your back foot, so that you can keep your weight back against the kite. Your front leg is kept straight, driving the board forwards, downwind. This encourages the board to accelerate in the new direction. As with a board start, by having the board pointing downwind, you can handle the initial strong pull from the kite as you can ride directly towards it. Lose some of the power and then apply hillside edging to remain in control and head back upwind. Your head and shoulders play a small but crucial part in the series of events. As you will find with many tricks in kitesurfing, where your head looks, the rest of your body will follow. With the sliding turn, it's important that as you extend your back leg and the kite comes up to 12 o'clock, you look in the new direction, with your body following to face where you want to go. This change in your body stance and balance is in preparation for the pull of the kite as it drops into the wind window. If you find that you fall backwards during the middle of the turn, then you could be doing one of three main things. You're not piloting the kite quick enough down in the new direction, losing all the power. As the board points downwind and the kite is directly above you, pull with your new front hand to send the kite quickly down into the power zone. Another reason why you may be falling in backwards is that you may not be extending your back leg enough during the entry, so the board is not pointing downwind. Your weight is then over your hillside edge, and when the power kicks back in, the board will carve straight upwind. Ensure you extend your leg as the kite comes up to 12. Then keep your weight over the centre of the board, with your back leg bent and your front leg straight. A similar mistake is simply edging too hard as you start moving in the new direction. As with the board start, you need to gain speed and then slowly edge upwind. If you find that you get pulled up onto your toes, possibly being pulled over the toe side edge, and then you probably also find that you struggle to edge the board far enough upwind. And it's impossible to push the back of the board to point downwind. You're not keeping your weight back against the kite as you bring it up to 12. Possibly flying the kite up too quickly. You need to keep your weight back against the kite, with your knees slightly bent as you carve the board upwind. Then pilot the kite up to 12, continuing to lean back enough to counteract the extra pull from the kite. If you find you get pulled over the front of the board, possibly with the nose of the board diving, then this is obviously happening because you have too much weight over your front foot. But there are several reasons why you may get into this situation. You've not transferred your weight onto your new back foot as the board slows. so you are unable to balance against the kite's power as it drops into the power zone on the new side and increases. You may not have straightened your front leg, so you can't drive the board downwind. Instead, your leg's bent and your weight comes forwards. You have not looked in the new direction. Thus, your body stance is incorrect when the power kicks in, and you can't act to handle it. Remember the key steps of your weight distribution throughout the turn. Carve upwind. Straighten your back leg. Look in the new direction. Weight over your new back foot. Drive off your straightened new front leg.